Okay, so last time on ICR. Oh, by the way, hi, it's Lulu again. Um, I did a withdrawal symptom of my antidepressants, which, in all honesty, was about 20 minutes ago. So here is installment number 2 on the DEA, FDA, and our government's hypocrisy. I left it here on the heroin withdrawal and symptoms because I do believe that there is a huge heroin epidemic that happens to be going on right now that has not been seen since the 70s. And the more we know about it, the more we know how to help. And I honestly believe that people do need help. I know a lot of people disagree with me that, oh, a lot of shit happened to me in my life. I turned out fine. I never used drugs. I never did anything illegal. I'm happy for you. I'm proud for you. Maybe you're a stronger person than some of us. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're a weak coward that couldn't fucking muster up shit, so you have to point down your finger at everybody else to make yourself feel better. I have no idea. I have no idea who you are. Frankly, I don't care. If you didn't do it, good for you. If you are doing it, please feel free to contact me. I am here to help always. I don't judge. I judge those who judge others. Shame on me, not my place. But I'm human. Not that that's a good excuse. But for my lovely Christians out there that always love to quote the Bible, and that believe that all things illegal, medicine-wise, DEA's right, FDA's right, government's right. First off, I want to say I always hear the expression, especially when it comes to transgender people, that God doesn't make mistakes. You're right, He doesn't. Everything that happens for a reason. Everything He's done is done for a reason. And if you're not smart enough to see it, or you're too blind to see it, or you don't want to see it because it doesn't fit into your societal agenda, then this is not for you. I digress. So, 1 Corinthians 3:7. I hate King James. I won't use it. I always find alternatives from any other language to ours. Better. So that neither the one planting is anything, nor the one watering, but only the one giving growth. God. God didn't put a plant on this earth to be illegal. Not one. Not peyote. Not ayahuasca. Not shrooms. Not coca. None of it. Not even marijuana. It all has a purpose. Every single one has a purpose. So here we go on to the DEA. DEA states, Schedule 1 drugs, substances, or chemicals are defined as drugs with no currently accepted medical use and a high potential for abuse. Now let's go back here, okay? Drugs with no currently accepted medical use. Okay? Please keep that in mind. The references they give: heroin, LSD, marijuana, methamphetamine, peyote, and I don't know what this one is. I probably should have looked it up before I started. Okay. So just a couple of things here. First, let's start with heroin, shall we? Since that was in the last video and I started off in this video, let's start with heroin. That's cannabis, cocaine, medical heroin, here we go. We already have it. And who is this by? Newsday columnist, which I don't know. But yes, here we go. What is heroin? Oxycontin, codeine, Vicodin, morphine, and other serious painkillers that are opiates, like heroin. No medical... What did they say again? No medical use. I call bullshit. Absolutely a medical use. It's painkiller, which is why people that are on painkillers for a long time for serious pain, that their doctors decide or can't because of insurance or / government, FDA, DEA, whatever, say, oh, I'm sorry, you've been in pain for 20 years, you've been on this medication for 20 years, we're no longer allowed to give you this pain medicine. Guess what? Now we have a heroin epidemic. Thank you, government. You wanted your war on drugs, you just got it. Because you just took legal heroin away from people that needed it. So yes, your Schedule 1 drug is a bullshit. It's a bullshit comment. It's a bullshit drug because it has medical purpose. Lie number 1. Okay, let's see here. I can't and won't speak much to LSD, as we all know that LSD was used in MK Ultra for mind altering and brainwashing. I will, however, go into psychedelics because they are finding that psychedelics, if I can find, here we go, are being approved for depression. Not just depression. They are also being used to treat PTSD and sexual abuse victims. Not a Schedule 1 drug. Has medical purpose. Lie 2. Let's go back here. DEA. Marijuana. Now this is my favorite. This is my absolute favorite because marijuana can save a lot of people's without the horrific side effects from the opiates that they've been prescribing for so long. They say no medical use. Okay? Right? That's what we get here. I want to thank Mary MG 2014 for this. U.S. government patent number 6,630,507 on cannabis. That's right, everyone. The federal government has a patent on medical cannabis. Then God said, I give you every seed bearing plant on the face of the whole earth. And it was so. For my lovely Christian friends again. So why is it if we have no medical use for cannabis, why would they hold a patent? Well, here's why. Because there's 10 pharmaceutical drugs already FDA approved, DEA approved, hold patents by Big Pharma. Sativix, Marinol, Sesamet, so on and so on and so on. There's 10 of them right there. All THC derived, CBD derived, already been in the medical profession for years. But let's remember, DEA says no currently accepted medical use. Lie. Let's go on to move on to cocaine, shall we? Cocaine. Who uses cocaine in the medical profession? Actually, you will find a cocaine stash in every hospital in the country. Why? Because it causes temporary numbing in the lining of the mouth, nose, and throat. They especially use cocaine during eye surgeries because it helps numb the lining of the eye. So if you go in for LASIK, chances are you have cocaine in your system. at least for 3 days, because that's how long it lasts. It also helps decrease bleeding, which back in the day, if people had bloody noses that they could not get to stop, they would have them snort cocaine. Irony? I think not. So yes, cocaine also has medical use, although denied by the DEA. Alright, so let's go on to methamphetamines. The horrible, terrible battery acid rat poison methamphetamine. Well, of course, making it that way is going to make horrible, terrible side effects. But guess what? Guess what? People in this country give it to their children every fucking day. It's called Adderall. It's an ADHD med. Look it up. You will willingly give your children a meth-based product to help control their hyperactivity, and you condemn people that live on the streets and use it to deal with their pain. Shame on you. So how did all of this become illegal to begin with? Well, let's get with the reefer madness. How did it start? Prohibition, bootlegging, mafia. Yeah, none of that worked. Why did it work with marijuana? Because it divided people. Mexicans, lovely Mexican individuals, Native American individuals would use marijuana in spiritual practices and for relaxation. And our white friends, our lovely white male dictators have decided we need to divide and conquer. So they did. They absolutely did. And people have been buying it since the 20s. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Smoking a joint, having CBD oil for your child that has seizures, PTSD. Shouldn't they just get over it and learn how to deal with it? Well, I say kiss my ass. PTSD is not easy to get over. If you had it, you'd know. Reefer helps. Marijuana, cannabis, Mary Jane, whatever you want to call it. Your government's been lying to you. They've been making it illegal for their own benefit. Divide and conquer. What about opiates? But many of you didn't know this. We had Chinese slaves working on our railroad system in this country for years. Yes, you'll hear about African slaves every day. How many of you have heard about Irish slaves? How many of you have heard about Chinese slaves? Probably not very many. But the Chinese would use their opiates after their long days of work and working on the railroad and making sure that we honored white folks could get from point A to point B as easily as possible, get our shit from one side of the country to the other so we could make the most money as possible. And why did we make opiates illegal? Because they would use it to relax, to be able to not hate their lives. That's simple. Look it up. Chinese slave on the Central Pacific Railroad. And the lovely cocoa plant. Which, by the way, there are tribes in South America that go through at least 50 pounds of leaves of the coca plant and never have the bullshit side effects or whatever that we like to say that we have derived from via cocaine. Learn your stuff, people. Know what you're fighting against. Know what you're fighting for and have good reason for it. Because as far as I can tell from the majority of the people I talk to, these things should be illegal. The people that use them should be incarcerated. Because the government says so. It's illegal. The reason it's illegal is a bullshit reason. The people that use these have horrible things in their lives that they don't know how to cope with. So if you think mental health is a good reason to go to prison, then maybe you need to take a psychology class. And if you've had horrible things happen in your life and you've still risen above it, not done anything horrible in your life that you regret, like becoming an alcoholic, smoking cigarettes, becoming addicted to pop or McDonald's, all still horrible things. Just legal. Careful who you judge, because judge not lest you be judged. Anyway, I digress, everyone. This is my part 2 of my medical research that I have done. I hope there were some eye-opening things in here. I will be putting all of the links in the description below, as I always try to do, because the people that come up with this information that I find deserve the credit. I do not. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Love, kisses. Bye.